All right, guys, so here we have it. Here is a new build that's going to be going up on the channel. I believe it's a 1998 Articat 300 utility 4x4. Pretty sure that's the full name of it. Not too familiar with Articats here, but this one has a seized motor and it hasn't ran in quite a while. I'm pretty sure it was last registered in like 2002 or something. So I'm pretty sure it's been sitting for like 15 plus years or something like that. I mean, considering the motor got locked up from sitting for so long and because of, moisture gets in there and so on and so forth. So I already got a rebuild kit for it. I don't know if, I was just moving too fast, but I've had this sitting around for like probably 8 months or so now. And it's time to finally get started and get working on it here. So hopefully I can get it going for spring here and all is well. So it just started snowing outside, so I figured I'd get it in. So might as well start working on it and try and get it knocked out. And like I said, going for spring. So without further ado, I'm gonna get it on some rollers so then I can get it at least moved out the way for now, because I still got to park my truck in here because it is still winter. And eventually I will get it moved to in front of my truck here so I can work on it right in front and have all my tools easily accessible. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna get it on some rollers just so I can move it around, and I'll show you guys me getting started on it. All right, guys, so here we have it. Got the four-wheeler all in position, and this is gonna be where I'll be working on it at. Like I said, just because I got the tools right there. I actually had to organize it a little bit over there just because, as you can see, the garage is pretty full right now. But and this is like the best spot to work on it at. Otherwise, I'd have to wait until I got warmer out, and then the truck should be out of here and stuff. But yeah, so I guess first things first. And also what I realized from the snowblower is I definitely, and I guess that motor used to be locked up too, which it's not locked up anymore, which this motor was also sitting for like 15 years. And you just got to work away at the flywheel, or just wherever the crankshaft end comes out, which I believe they call that the PTO end. And on this Articat, everything is so far back, so I think it's going to take a little bit of work. Probably going to have to try and get the plastics off. And actually, I think it's all built in to one unit. Doesn't look like they're separate, so might be a little bit harder to get in there at, but you definitely want it freed up before you start digging into the internals of the motor, just because it's just going to be a lot harder that way to free it up. So it would be ideal to get it freed up before I start rebuilding the motor or whatever. Like I said, I got a rebuild kit for it already, but this is a 4-stroke, so it's going to be a little bit more work to get that top end rebuilt. But I'll get looking into it and get back to you guys. All right, guys, so I just popped the seat off of it real quick here, and just to show, this is the pull start for the motor. And yes, this is for the motor because it's an Articat and the motor is way back towards the rear. I give it a pull. Nothing. She's locked up tight, and now you just gotta try and figure out how to free it up and get it rotating again and pulling over. So I'm gonna do some thinking, and I'll get back to you guys with what I come up with. All right, guys, so something interesting that I noticed is that unlike just like a normal quad and whatnot, the motor and transmission are together. That's pretty common. But this one, the motor, transmission, and rear differential are all built together, which I've never seen that before personally. I have worked on a few other utility four-wheelers, but they were all Polarises. So they usually have the transmission separate and then the rear differentials separate also. But this one's independent rear suspension also, so that makes it different as well. But anyways, as far as the motor goes, I got the recoil all pulled off and down there, and since you know the transmission's built in it, it's hard to get to, you know, the flywheel because it's all gears and stuff, and it's gonna get pretty messy because you got to split the case and, you know, so on and so forth. So I think I'm just gonna try and carefully pry off of this and try not to damage it, and see if I can't work it loose off of this coupler, or, you know, whatever you want to call that. So I'm gonna give that a try now. All right, guys, so I was able to work it loose with a pry bar, and then I just got an extension here to show you guys. So I'll just put it on here, and then you can see it turn, and then you can also see it kind of like recoil back because it's building compression. Well, I mean, the spark plug's out, but I mean, you know, it's still a 2-stroke, or a 4-stroke, my bad. So the valves and timing chain are still all turning. So anyways, I'm gonna get the recoil back on and see if I can't pull it over now. All right, guys, so I got the recoil all put back on it right here, and if we just give it a pull, look at that, it turns over now. So set you guys up right over here, and you guys can probably watch the fluid come out when I pull it. Oh, my flashlight just fell. Maybe I got most of the oil out of it anyways. And I put transmission fluid in there just so it was easier to, you know, like, you know, smoother, just in case, you know, there was rust on the piston rings. I didn't want to score the cylinder when I freed it up and, you know, whatnot, just so it was lubricated. But if you guys can see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but there is quite a bit of rust on the spark plug, and this being a 4-stroke means that, you know, the valves probably got pretty rusty, and as well as the piston rings, which you know, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the reason for them seizing up and locking up is when, you know, when they sit, moisture will get in there, and that'll seize up the piston rings kind of to the cylinder, not allowing it to, you know, move freely in there anymore. So you just kind of gotta force it free and kind of work it loose. And you know, sometimes if your compression's still good enough, and you know, I didn't get that damaged, after a heat cycle, or, you know, you warm it up a bit, it'll kind of come back, and it'll work the rings free again, or, you know, your compression will go up after it runs. But yeah, I honestly don't know. Probably would be best to just take it apart and clean it up, but, you know, first things first, I would like to get a compression test before I dig into it. So I'm just gonna pull it over a few more times and make sure all the oil is out of the cylinder, and then grab a compression test. All right, guys, so I got the compression tester all hooked up here and cleared out, and then I got the carburetor just taken off, just because if we go up here and the throttle is seized, so it probably needs a throttle cable or something. But well, see if, yep, I'm gonna pull it over and see what we get for compression. Oh. Sucks because I gotta do it by hand. Alright, guys, so I actually just tried hooking up the battery charger just because, you know, it's a lot easier than just trying to pull it over, and it started to melt this wire for the, I believe that's the voltage regulator, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it is. And looks like there's another problem on my hands, so I'll have to get that figured out as well. But I can't get it to pull over for more than one turn, and I mean, it's at 53, so probably just gonna have to end up rebuilding it anyways. But I would have liked to use the electric start just so it was actually, you know, spinning over more than, you know, one rotation or half a rotation. So yeah. All right, guys, so I tried pulling it over a few more times, and it kind of freed up a little bit. I'm sure it's just kind of all like bound up just because it hasn't been, you know, rotated in so long. but you know, I think it's starting to work itself loose. Honestly, I should probably check the oil and see how that's doing. But I got it up to 137 compression in here, which is definitely good enough to run. So you know, it would be nice to you know, just clean it all up a bit, and then it's definitely gonna need fresh oil, and pretty much I guess just check all the fluids, and then just look into the starter and or you know, battery and wiring, and then definitely a full carburetor cleaning, because that thing is rough. And then I got to figure out the throttle, and then let's see, brake lever works, so it has brakes, so that's good. So yeah, just throttle, carburetor, and then battery and some wiring. So definitely got quite a bit to do. And then this also dry rotted off, so I'll probably not gonna do it too much more tonight, but this is definitely really good, and I'm happy with that. So maybe I won't have to tear into the motor, but you know, we'll just have to see how that goes. All right, so I decided to keep on working on it for a little bit longer here, because I mean, it's getting late, but it's not too late yet. And I just pulled the fuel line off of it. I tucked it up there just because I didn't want it making a mess, which surprisingly there is some stuff in there. So this is what dripped out of it right there. As you can see, it's a lot of dirt. That dripped out of it, pure dirt. And this is where the fuel goes, which looks like it's totally plugged full of just crap and rusty, dirty, just nothing good that should be coming out of a fuel line. So the tank's gonna have to be fully cleaned out and all of that, which I kind of expected to have to drain it already. But yeah, so hopefully this carburetor is not too gummed up, and I can still, you know, well, I should still be able to save it, but it might take quite a bit of work. So just trying to get it off, and then I'll get it up on the workbench and start tearing it apart some more. All right, guys, so I got the little side cover off that just, you know, covers up the throttle, and it turns out that the throttle wasn't moving because this piece, part of the carburetor, is seized up. I had to pry this thing up just so I could get the little this little cylinder piece that the cable hooks on out. But as you can see here, now the throttle works perfectly fine. So definitely gonna need a good cleaning on this carburetor, and you know, just get it all cleaned out nice and good. And like, you know, you guys saw the fuel line, so this thing's gonna be disgusting. But now that the, well, actually I think this just pulls out, I'm not exactly sure. I guess the throttle cable is still not fully disconnected, and then I gotta deal with the choke, which is, you know, probably still gonna be stuck in there too, which I've had to deal with that before on a different four-wheeler I worked on, and it is not fun. But I'm gonna keep on working away at it. All right, guys, so I got the carburetor off of it now, and the choke went in right here, and man, it was a fighter. And this is the little piece that the choke is, and the choke cable is right here, and it got a little messed up, but you know, minor details. The carburetor is off now, so now I can start taking it apart and looking into it, and probably definitely gonna need a hot tank this one, and hope that it all cleans up and works again. So I'm gonna start taking it apart now. All right, guys, so, well, first things first, I know the lighting's not great, but you know, it's all I got. You know, I'm tearing this carburetor apart. I got the little pin out that holds the float in there, And guys, the needle is literally stuck in the seat. It is that bad. It's been a while since I've seen a carburetor even close to this bad, but like it is. Oh, it might be moving. It is stuck in there. It is not coming out. Yeah, this carburetor is bad. Hopefully I can save it because, you know, obviously, like, you know, nothing's as good as an OEM carburetor. Would hate to, you know, buy some cheap Chinese one. Best bet would be to look for another, you know, used one that's good. But, you know, hopefully the hot tank can take care of it. That would be my best bet, but definitely going to need a rebuild kit. And this pin actually is bent. I don't know how it got bent. Don't ask me. I don't know what the whole deal is with this thing because this is horrible. This is years of buildup. So got a lot of work ahead of me. But yeah. I'm probably just gonna actually take this screw out and pull out the whole needle and seat together. And it's definitely all just gonna have to get replaced. So carburetor's definitely getting a full rebuild. And then let alone everything else going on. So it'll probably actually be a few days before you guys see this again then, because the carburetor is obviously going to need a lot of work and I gotta wait for parts. And actually I might just be able to go to a dealer, like, you know, a dealership and try and order something. But anyways, I'll get that figured out and I'll see you guys in the next video then.